I wanted to open a window for you for my first time in Fabriano. Hello friends, this is Anna Marie Steffenson, and I've not always had the chance to be able to travel and see the watercolor world, and I wanted to be able to share that with you. It's really important that even if you can't travel to be there, that you have the chance to see the world. Fabriano went to Fort Worth in October of 2024, and this is the first time for Fabriano to be outside of Italy, and it's an amazing international watercolor congress. The amazing thing about it is that it is not competitive, rather it is a congress of all of us from all around the world, open to amateurs and novices, and this makes it unique and a special, wonderful experience. I was able to attend Fabriano Fort Worth in 2024 for the first time, and I was excited to pack my art supplies. And I had just returned from Africa, and I was still recovering from severe health, so I was a little worried that my health wouldn't make it through the week, but my husband really encouraged me to go. A year previously, I had been nervous to fly alone. I went and visited Mr. Gabriel Stockton, my colleague and another brand ambassador for Daniel Smith, and now it was just old school, getting on the airplane, flying again. And one thing that I told myself to feel comfortable with it is just to think of it as a bus station, and the plane is the bus taking me to where I need to go. Trying to get over the concern of flying and the humor with that. As a mom, I enjoyed the few moments of quiet and silence and the eager anticipation. I missed my kids desperately, but I was so excited to be with my tribe, with my group. This was my first time. This was my first time at a large art event. It was my first time at an international watercolor gathering, and it was my first time in a context of peers. And that was so exciting. I'm grateful for my small community of peers that I had in Oklahoma, and now to be able to be engaging with all of the internationals. It was just a gift. So are you wondering, is it appropriate for me as an individual to go to Fabriano? And I just wanted to encourage you in doing that. I was so excited to be doing this for the first time, but I also gave myself permission to not emotionally have a high, knowing that with my health I could very likely through the week crash, and that I'd probably crash afterwards, even that way. Therefore, I scheduled a stretch of silence and a period of no obligations for the spell after, when I returned from the event. So the best part of Fabriano was seeing friends. I have been friends with some of these people for half a decade, and this was my first time to see them face to face. I felt like I was binging on old friends, art conversations, new friends, painting, and meeting everybody. It was so beautiful, such a gift to see each other face to face. I also had the joy of being able to practice my Italian, which was a gift because my husband's work was thinking of sending us to Italy, so I was already practicing and studying Italian, but I hadn't had the chance to be in the context of speaking Italian. And we had a wonderful collection of Italian artists, over 25, that came to Fabriano Fort Worth, and it was such a gift to visit them. One morning I said, "Buongiorno," good morning, at the breakfast table, and they all start chatting me in Italian. I'm like, oh, no, that's as far as I go. So now it's been a season later. We have moved to Italy, and now my Italian is getting slightly better, slightly more exposure, so I can be communicating a lot more. So one thing that made me really happy as a farmer's kid was that they also, at the same time as our watercolor event, had a rodeo going on in Fort Worth, just a few blocks away. So my Italian colleagues were able to see real cowboys in their real cowboy hats, boots, belt buckles, everything at breakfast, lunch, and supper. And it just made me so happy to be able to share this unique aspect of American culture that is actually quite rare for us Americans to even see. Outside of a rodeo context, it's hard to see. I've lived I have uncles that are cowboys in Nebraska. I've been to the rodeo in Oklahoma. But even there, it's still rare and special to see. And it made me happy to share that with my Italian friends. It was really special to be able to share a hotel room with my friends. I went to bed early to avoid crashing, and it was just pure endorphins. It was everything I hoped for. There was great energy and community and relationships, and recognizing for me that this was the first time to ever have these experiences, and that I'd never have this first time again, how special it was, and to celebrate together. During the event there, I ran into a mom who had brought her daughter, and I was so happy to see kids there. The mom then said, when she found out I was a brand ambassador, said, "Oh, you're the royalty of watercolor." And that actually made me feel very uncomfortable. But I wanted to communicate, I'm really no different than her. I have spent years sitting on a farm, looking at nothing but the backfield and painting that. And that makes me no different than everybody else out there. I got to sit one supper, and I was sitting next to a friend, Buffy Kaufman from California, and thinking, wow, that's amazing. I get to sit here next to Buffy Kaufman. And then she speaks up and she says the same thing about me, and just shock and awe of like, wow, we're both amazed to be able to be peers and friends and be in this context together, and just to celebrate. I feel as adults, it's so rare to have the time to be with friends, and it's a precious thing to celebrate. I enjoy doing portraits. I'm continuing to work on my series of 1,000 portraits, and I appreciated so much my husband for him taking care of everything on the home front, so that I can go. And I also recognize how much he sacrifices for my art career. And I just wanted to express my gratitude to the different spouses for how much they support through the art journey that we're on. So I spent a lot of time painting the various spouses of the quite famous artists that were all there. And I just had fun with that. And I'm looking at one of these paintings and I realize I think I gave Lorena's portrait of her husband to Buffy. So I think I need to talk to her and figure that one out. I was so happy during that season of seeing all my friends and my peers. And you can see from the group of photos that we are they're just a fun bunch, and we just enjoy spending time together. The brand ambassador photograph was pretty funny because we were missing the primary people that are normally organizers at our group, and we just couldn't get our act together to take a decent photo between all of us. It was very funny, and I'm still laughing about it to this day. So I was so grateful for the time there, to be with friends and colleagues, to have this time together, to be with my tribe. I did not crash in my health, and that just goes to confirm that art is good for you. I look forward to nurturing my art community and to many more years of Fabriano. Absolutely, if you're looking at going, I'd encourage you to go. I know it's a sacrifice for some people. And if you're not able to, I'm so happy to open this window into the world for you. Thanks for joining me on this journey. This was the first time to go to Fabriano. I am wishing you all joy in your watercolor journey. Bye.